Hey everybody. Oh, there we go. Hey everybody. So yeah, we're back with Badlands Before the Fracture. It's gonna be our first episode of season 2 of this show. Um, we'll do some quick introductions and then I'll kind of give a brief recap of what's happened so far in the last season, and then we'll jump right in. So we'll start with Rowan. Go ahead and tell us a little bit about you and your character, and where we can find you on the internet.
Hello, I am Rowan. I'm a freelance illustrator and art educator. You can find all my work at rowannorthillustrations.org. I've done things like book covers. I've done, things like logos, my own illustrations, comics. You name it, I've pretty much done it. I play Vinny Vincent Gonzalez, and he is half rat, half man due to weird magic shenanigans. He has a personal vendetta after the big bad, and is a renegade to the core.
Awesome. All right, and Gwen, tell us a little about you and your characters, and where we can find you on the internet.
So you can find me on the Twitters at Carahella, and my characters are Joan and Alinea, who are very much fire and ice, very much do not get along at all, very much opposites. Like Joan is really smart and really physical, and Alinea is not exactly smart, but she's intuitive and cares about people. Oh, that's another thing. Joan doesn't care about people at all.
This is very evident last season.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. She sees them as values in a table.
Yep. Fun trivia, Joan was the only playable character last season to die, and then came back, but only PC death was Joan. Via PvP, I might add.
Yes, that's Joan.
So this will be interesting.
That's Joan being Joan doing the thing.
Perfect. All right, and then let's hop over to Ping, played by Goody.
Hi, I'm Goody. My real name's Lisa. I'm a bassist in the emo post-hardcore band Cadus. Can't really find me too many places, but you can find me on Instagram. Yeah, I play Ping. Ping is a blind doctor. Take that what you will. And is very smart, but views people with humanity, unlike Joan, so it's a different kind of spectrum there. And has been blind her whole life and is very well adjusted to it. So.
All right, and then we will be having Vera, the Twitter handle Vera Says Dragons, on the show. I'm hoping that's going to start next week. The plan was to have them here for this show. They're currently out saving a horse from being sold off to a slaughterhouse, so they're doing awesome work and very okay with them being missing with considering what they're doing. So, yeah, that's why they're not here, but hopefully we'll see them next week. Quick recap on Season 1. So all of Season 1 happened in the year 3636, where the world had been basically permeated with this magical substance called Clarkium, which corrupted wildlife and vegetation, made most of the world uninhabitable, but it also had the quirky side effect of giving humans magical abilities. the entire season was spent basically chasing around two characters, Minerva, who was our sort of good person NPC, and Xander, who's the big bad. There was a lot of timey-wimey, wibbly-wobbly stuff going on. And they finally managed to catch up to Xander at the very last episode of last season. And it was a bit like the ending of Clue the movie, because a couple of our characters had time rewind powers. So I think at one point Vinny was basically about to die, and then there was a rewind, and then they actually did kill Xander, and then there was another rewind, and he got away. So they chased him through a portal in time and have now come out into where they don't know and when they don't know yet. So it's going to be really interesting. We'll jump right in. So here's my roll 20. You all step through the portal chasing after Xander. And you're presented with a scene that looks a lot like this.
I can just hear it now. Da 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 da. Da, 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 da.
I'm not used to seeing such a pleasant scene in front of me in this game.
You're not used to seeing anything.
Yeah.
I can picture a lady going.
Yeah, this is pretty much what you see. It's a nice, pristine site. There's some houses. You can see a town or a city a little bit off in the distance. You're kind of on a hill. It's sunny, so Ping, you can definitely feel the warmth of the sun. Probably in a way that none of you have ever felt that warmth from the sun, because there's not tons of Clarkium fallout in the atmosphere. The air is very fresh, probably smells really bizarre to you, given that you're from 3636, and you're sometime at least 1,000 years in the past. You can kind of get that feel immediately. You can hear birds chirping and insects, and yeah, it's just about the most pristine thing you could come out to that any of you could probably think of. You look around, there's no sign of Xander.
Okay.
The lady's just like, birds, grass, people. Grass. Birds and animals. Yes.
People. So Vinny immediately, he's like looking around trying to find a any sort of trail or something to follow Xander by, because it's as if he doesn't give a fuck where they are. He just really is more concerned with getting the guy who got away.
Okay. Let me have you roll. Let's take a look at a character sheet here, see if there's something else I want you to roll. I think I already know, but yeah. Let's go with naturalist to try to track Xander through this pastoral scene.
You hate me. I have like stats so high and everything else, and what you say? You're a naturalist.
You're tracking. If he was
All
hiding
right.
behind something, you'd spot him. Bam, lickety split.
All right. That's 15.
15? Okay. You do notice that there is some crushed grass, sort of leading towards the city. You couldn't say for sure if it's Xander, because you don't see like footprints or really signs that it was necessarily a human, but you do see some crushed grass sort of going off in that direction, at least for a few yards.
Is Minerva and Thomas with us?
Minerva is with you. Thomas seems to have disappeared.
All right. So Vinny is like, kind of rummaging around, and He's like, that way. He went that way.
Okay.
One track mind, I guess.
I guess so. So, do you start heading off in that direction?
I think so, because he's still pissed. This is just right off of everything that happened, right?
Mm-hmm.
So he is pissed and he's ready to he's ready for blood. So I think he starts heading down the hill without much thought. But obviously that's not the smart thing to do.
Oh, I'm sorry. I just realized. Did I say Minerva's with you?
Yes.
She's not. Minerva and
Oh.
Thomas both. That's what I meant to say. You do not see them. It's just
Oh,
the four of you.
okay.
The
So,
4? I can't.
Because Joan.
Joan
Olivia-
and Lydia.
Lydia, Joan, Ping, and Vinny. Yeah. You do not see Minerva and Thomas with you.
So someone should stop Vinny.
So, Vinny, you plow ahead.
Yeah, Olivia's following right behind Vinny.
Okay.
And Olivia's like, Pig, I'm going this way. Vinny's going this way. Just yelling and
Could you
following Vinny.
wait for 2 seconds?
If we wait, we lose him.
Okay, where are we then, Vinny?
I don't fucking know, and I don't fucking care.
So then how are you gonna find him?
Would Joan know where we are?
There's a trail down
Do
the
an
hill towards
educational.
the town.
There's a town.
Nice.
Yes, there's a town.
Okay, and what is this town? When is this town?
I don't fucking know. You
Well,
expect me to fucking know?
well, no, and that's the problem.
Mm-hmm. So, because Joan has learned, I can roll education twice and take the highest, right?
Yes, you can.
Ooh.
Nice. That's 20. Good thing I have that. That's 25.
25. So you couldn't give a specific year. However, looking at the architecture, kind of how underdeveloped everything is, your guess is that it's sometime between 1870 and 1940.
So we are somewhere between the 1870s and 1940s. That would mean
Those years sound made up.
well, I happen to be
Aren't
quite
all years made up?
I happen to be quite the expert on these things, so I would say that I am relatively sure that we are between those dates.
Well, here's the thing. If you're heading towards a town, we still smell like blood. You really want to go hurling into a bunch of people that we don't know what their capacity of understanding is. Bloody.
Oh,
They aren't going to be sniffing us.
You don't need to.
this is quite the developed time. I don't, they're not savages. Okay?
Is this before the magic, though?
Quite.
Because we have a rat man with us.
Everybody roll magic engineering for me.
I'm going to roll physical dice for this because they seem to like me a lot more.
All right, that's
22.
enough that I want to get a new die, but oh well. 14.
That's a nat
Okay.
20 for Joan, which is weird. which makes it
Okay.
a 21. And then an 8 for Alinea, which makes it a 25.
Okay. You all
So,
kind of
go.
go ahead.
I was gonna say, actually, the comment about we have a rat man with us does give him pause. Like,
Okay.
oh yeah.
So all of you kind of have that sudden moment of going like, "Oh yeah, magic," and you kind of check yourself to see, am I still able to do something? With Joan, I guess not having magic, it's more of a, do I sense magic in the air?
I cannot explain that nat 20.
What's this? What's this? There's magic in the air. Oh.
Yeah. So you all feel like, yes, I still have magic, but I don't feel any magic around me, and you can tell that your magic is getting weaker by the minute.
Yeah, would Joni be able to detect magic?
Joan feels like there's something different. Like, I don't feel that same sort of electricity in the air that I used to. In fact, Joan probably is just now realizing that there used to be an electricity in the air, because it's not there now. It's one of those things you just don't notice it until it's not there.
Oh. Well. This is interesting. Was there some kind of energy in the air before? Because there's not now.
It was the magic. It's gone.
Magic and nuclear fucking fallout.
Well, yeah, that's probably why it feels so clean out here.
Oh, how pleasant! Yay!
Yep. So,
But the point still stands. We have a rat man, and I don't think people are going to take too chill to that if we just go gung-ho in there.
I left my coat with Seri.
here's a question for you. Has anybody thought to turn around and look behind them?
Joan would be.
No, that did not occur to Ping.
Yes.
Fair.
Joan would have. Alinea would have. Look.
Lydia's
Alinea would
all
have been
steams ahead.
very much looking around everywhere.
Okay,
I think
so
he would have probably looked back when talking to Ping, but he's been all steams ahead.
okay.
Joan
So
would be taking notes of everything.
Joan, Alinea, and then eventually Benny. When you turn around, you see the portal that you walked through shrink down into a little point and then go poof, and there's nothing but forest behind you.
Ah, shit.
Joan's like, I'm fine with this. Alinea's
Was
like,
that the sound of a portal closing?
You tell me.
yes, it was.
Oh, goody.
I'm not okay with this, Joan. Joan's like, get over it. We're here now.
Yep. You
Well-
effectively realize that you don't have a way back.
No
Yes.
magic, no portal.
Either way, he's here.
Yeah, how dangerous is he, though?
On a scale of 1 to 10, I'd say he's a 9.
You don't need magic to be a psychopath.
Well, yeah. Joan's proven that.
Joan
Fantastic.
looks at you sideways.
Goody.
Lydia's like, I think I agree with that statement. And then Joan's like, more side eye.
I'm just saying, you match all the checklists on the doctor here.
Well, that's not my area of expertise. I'd say that I do not fit that.
Oh, the more we talk, the more we lose him.
Well, how do you expect we track him towards the town with a giant rat man?
There's footprints in the grass.
Everyone, except Ping, do a sight check to see what else is around. Because you saw a town off in the distance, and you saw the tracks. Let's see what else you see.
That's nice. So that's
18.
25 for Olenia and 29 for Joan.
Okay. So we'll start with Vinny. You take another minute to hurriedly look around, and still looking for Xander, and also just still taking in your surroundings. And you see there's a farm further down the hill that you had missed at first glance. And you realize there might be a building there that maybe you could hide out in, or maybe you could find a disguise somewhere down there. It's not close to the main part of town, so less likely to be discovered. Alinea and Joan, you can tell that it's a farm that's attached to an estate. So you see sort of a farmhouse and a barn, things like that, but you know enough to be able to tell that this is not the only structure that's going to be on this property. There's probably a bigger house somewhere close by that's also away from the city.
So Joan would point this out to people and be like, "There's probably a barn over here somewhere."
Did you say bar or barn?
Barn. Barn.
I think all of us would be down for either at this point.
I imagine if he had said, if she had said bar, heck, maybe Vinny didn't hear her right and just looked over at her and went, "You lush."
Well, remember, things aren't going to be like they were when we were wandering around. There's going to be people around, so we can't just go raiding into things.
Are these all your friends?
I mean, the social contract around these times is fairly loose, but I would say that violates it just a little bit.
And do you have a better plan?
Well, yes, over in this
Talk
direction.
to the owners? Murder the
Oh,
owners?
yes.
I don't
Because
know.
they will totally want to talk to a rat man.
I would
Yeah,
say you're talking to them.
yeah, you, and she points at Vinny and Joan. Vinny and Ping. Stay here. I shall talk to you.
I don't
Anyways,
trust you as far as I
like-
can throw you. Do you really think I would like you to talk to random strangers about the rat man in your party?
Well, to be fair,
Oh,
Vinny
he's
could
like-
probably throw Joan a decent ways.
That is fair.
oh, Olivia's like, I don't think that's a good idea. I would rather me talk to them than you. And Joan's like, why? And Olivia's like, you don't have, what's the word, people skills? Exactly.
And you're a fucking hippie.
Guys, I could go talk to them. I just need something to cover up my eyes so that the skinless half face isn't the one talking to them.
Vinny rolls. Didn't Vinny give her like a bandage or something?
Oh, I
around
do
her
have,
eyes?
yeah, I do have a bandage
Yeah,
around my
Vinny.
eyes.
Vinny tore off part of his coat and put it around.
Oh
her
yeah,
eyes.
yeah. You've got the Lee Sin look going on now.
Yeah. I could go. Perhaps. Maybe they'll take pity on me. I'm a blind person.
Can you find your own way to the front door?
Yeah. point me in the right direction. I've got my cane.
This is going to be fun.
Alinea directs Ping to the door.
Okay. So do you go like just outside the farm and then do this, or are you starting from the point where you are now?
We're starting from the point we are now because Ping
Yeah,
has to navigate a hill.
Exactly.
Yep. Which means we're going to do some rolls.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Yay! Alinea just rolls.
Okay. So
Seems like a
Ping,
wonderful idea, right?
I'm going to have you roll nimbleness for this, I think.
Okay.
We're going to test your balance and your ability to feel your way around. 20. So you do a decently good job. You don't go like head over heels down the hill or anything.
Yay.
You've got your sight stick, so you're making your way down the hill. You stumble on a couple of little rocks here and there, but not enough to make you
Fair.
fall. You manage to make your way down the hill, and there's some smaller trees and bushes and things like that are here. So I'll have you roll nimbleness one more time.
19.
So your hair kind of gets caught in some of the trees, and you trip over a bush and kind of stumble, but not enough to hurt yourself.
Fair enough.
But in the process, your clothes get a little bit dirty. But you manage to make it to the edge of the farm. And we will go ahead and move there.
On Joe's side, on Joe's side.
There we go.
I love
So-
all the sunflowers.
So yeah, they've got sunflowers, and you can kind of smell that there's flowers, and you smell some other vegetables. Couldn't say which ones they are, but you definitely smell a lot of flowers, and then vegetation.
Earthy.
Yeah,
Yay!
probably a little bit of manure smell.
Yeah, probably.
Alinea's in heaven.
Alinea,
She's used to
if-
that from being around Vinny.
I went through the portal, but then I...
So, Alinea, if you kind of followed a little bit behind, then you would see in the picture I have here, the barn's a little bit old looking and a little run down, but what you actually see is something it's very new and well kept. But it's very similar to the scene that you see in this picture. A barn in the distance, a lot of fields and stuff, a couple of little tool sheds. You don't really see anybody or hear anybody. You just hear more nature sounds.
Yay.
Olivia, can you get me to the front door, please?
Yes. This way.
Okay. And Alinea, are you like walking Ping through these fields, or are you
Yeah.
still staying behind? Okay.
Yeah, I would be directing Ping because I have sight and Ping does not.
Okay. So you make it to the barn, and from there you can see across another couple fields is a farmhouse. Looks like it's a small one, probably like a servant's house. And not the main house of the estate. But you're currently at the barn.
Lydia would not know this.
Would not know.
There's like anything about this. It's just a barn to her.
Oh, yeah. Linnea, you would probably see there's a barn, and then would be able to see there's a small house ahead.
So it's Alenia would point out the barn and then point out the small house.
Okay.
It's not a
the
big
small house. The small house, I guess. Got to start somewhere.
This
Okay.
People
direction.
don't. Oh, okay.
So you head down the other field, and make it to the farmhouse. It's a small house, single story. If you had to guess, you'd say maybe a 3-bedroom house.
Mm-hmm.
The door is shut. There's a screen door and a wooden door. And you notice. Well, let me have you do a sight roll there, Alenia. Let's see if you notice a few other things
Awesome.
or not.
That's a 18 on sight.
Okay. And then ping. Let me have you roll hearing.
Olivia continues to roll low on everything.
13.
So a 13 on hearing from ping.
Yeah,
so ping,
for some
you
reason.
you might notice that you don't really hear much of anything. Like all the insects and birds and stuff seem to be really quiet as you get up to the house. Alenia, you notice that all of the curtains are drawn on the windows, so you can't see through any of the windows. And you still don't see anybody around.
By the way, Olivia is picking flowers
Okay.
along the way.
Of course she is.
I would imagine that Vinny and Joan are kind of like in the flowers, kind of out of sight, but still somewhat nearby.
Vinny's just sneaking along. Being
Okay.
sneaky.
And
If
Jones
you're
being incredibly sneaky.
if you're sneaking along through the fields, then let me have you both roll a blend in roll.
Personally, I thought were gonna stay up on the hill, but apparently not.
That's what I thought
23.
too. 23, you said?
Yeah.
Yeah, you
What
can
am
just
I rolling?
Blend in.
Okay. 31.
Okay.
The rat man blends in very well with the giant sunflowers.
Yes. I'm gonna say that Joan and Benny, you're just far enough back to where you can still see Alinea and Ping, and might be able to hear loud conversation. But you're far enough back that you're not easily seen.
So Olivia knocks on the door.
Okay. As you knock on the door, you hear a slow creaking of wood coming from inside, like somebody stepping on a loose floorboard. And you hear some heavy footsteps. And then there's a pause as the footsteps get closer to the door.
Can I call out to them?
Sure.
Hello? Me and my companions are in need of aid?
As you say that, you hear the doorknob turning. And the wooden door opens. The screen door is still shut, but the wooden door opens. And you see this guy. He's got a long beard, overalls, which are dirty. And you can tell he's definitely been out in the sun a lot. And he opens the door and he goes, "Oh, what's that? I couldn't hear you."
Oh,
Hello,
no.
sir. My companions and I, we are in need of help, of aid. We were wondering if you could help us in some way.
He just kind of stretches his shoulders and scratches the back of his head. Aid, you said? What kind of aid you need?
Oh, well, we've had a rough couple of days. Could we perhaps seek shelter in your barn?
Well, I reckon you could. Ain't much in there, though. There's some hay, though, if you wanted to lay on that, I guess. But, I mean, we got a guest room. You could come in.
Well, there's 4 of us, and I don't want to overcrowd you, even though I have no idea how big the house is.
Kind of puts a hand on his hip, and he looks at you, squints his eyes a little bit. He's like, I ain't the smartest of fellas, but I'm pretty sure there's just 2 of you.
Oh, some of my compatriots are hanging behind. They're shy. They're very shy, and
Let me have you roll charm or speech, depending on how you want to play that.
Let me see. I'm gonna roll charm.
Okay.
And this man's not an academic, is he?
No.
Oh, dear heavens, no.
Not at all.
14.
14.
That looks
Okay.
like a 16 on my screen.
I have to subtract
it's-
2.
It's
Because
16
it's
if it was an academic.
Yeah.
So 14. He's like, uh-huh.
But I'm a poor blind girl, as far as he knows. So, like...
Says, so, well, I suppose you could stay in the barn. But if you want to stay in the house, if you can have them come by and say hello so I can see them and get to know them, then we could have you put in the guest room.
Oh, God. Certainly, sir. And Ping's gonna turn around and wave the cane at the sunflowers. Come on, he wants to meet you.
Oh no.
Joan's like,
But he's like, what is Joan wearing? Just
what? What is Joan wearing?
what
No
is
one's,
Joan
Yeah.
wearing?
no one's ever asked me that, and I've been waiting how long to say this? So Joan wears pantsuit.
A pantsuit. A pantsuit.
Yes. Yes.
That works.
And
So
And,
Vinny just hates her
a-
for fashion sense alone.
and a cat and one of those newsboy caps.
Oh, like a Newsies cap?
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh.
Yeah.
Okay, that's fine.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Joan looks fine.
Oh.
It's very 1930s ish.
You're
Oh.
ahead of your time. Okay. Yeah, come on over.
So okay, hold on. Do you have so the pantsuit top? Are you wearing a shirt underneath?
It's a vest.
It's a vest.
Yeah, vest over the suit.
Okay. So Vinny's like, what? Give me a fucking cap.
Joan gives you the cap.
Okay. He's like, ah, shit. Not even with this does he have enough clothes to cover the fact that he's hairy.
Yep.
You know what? Maybe the 20s were a weird time and he'll just go with it.
Oh my gosh. So what Vinny does is he takes off his shirt and then drapes it over his head like he's protecting himself from the sun
Okay.
and puts the cap on top.
Okay.
You go first. He looks at Joan.
Give me a blend in roll for this, Vinny. You're probably fine, but this is wow. Given how high your blend in is, you're probably okay, but
That's why I put it so high.
Probably for the best.
So it is a straight up and down,
it's a what?
which is it's so hard. Like, you guys, the fact that this even works. Oh my gosh.
What was the total? I couldn't hear it.
But yes, I got a 30.
30, okay.
30.
Yeah, somehow you managed to make that work.
He's had experience.
Yeah,
In the
I mean,
meantime, I'll introduce myself to the nice old man.
okay.
My name's Ping, by the way. This is my compatriot Alinea.
It's like, huh. I'm
And then-
Henry.
Hi,
Uh,
Henry.
Hi, Henry. Is this
Those are
Alcoholics Anonymous now?
Yeah.
Oh God. He's like, huh, that's an unusual name there. Both of you. Where'd you say I was?
foreigners.
Where'd you say I was from?
Not from around here.
Far away. Long way away.
He's like,
Canada.
huh.
That's a place, right?
He's like, yeah, that's country to the north.
Yep, that sounds great. Canada.
He's like, well, don't take too kindly to Yankees around here, but I guess if you're from a different country, that kind of north's okay, I guess. Well, nice to meet you. And as Joan and Vinny walked up at this point,
This is the point where Joan walks up.
he takes one look at Joan and he goes, yeah, very far away apparently. I ain't never seen no woman dressed like that.
That's Joan. Say hi, Joan. This is Henry.
Hello.
He's nice enough to let us stay with him.
Well, okay.
Uh,
Joe's trying not to say much because
Because Joan's
So-
smart.
yes, Joan is very smart.
Perfect. And Vinny, how do you do this? What do you say?
I'm
How do you
just-
approach?
I just walk up, making sure very carefully that I'm behind everyone else.
This last one
Okay.
is he's our bodyguard. This is Vinny. He doesn't talk much.
Smart. I was like, you alright
He's
there?
the shy one.
Oh, okay. Well, that's an interesting hat you got there. That's all he
Pig's
says.
confused, like Vinny's got
just-
a hat.
He's just staring at Vinny like, oh.
Lydia whispers, "It's Joan's hat."
Oh God.
Oh God.
It's like, all right, well, yeah, a guest room's right down the hall. If y'all want to hop in there, it's the second door on the left. I'll go get Mary and have her cook y'all up something to eat.
Oh, you're too kind, sir. Thank you so much.
He's like, oh, it's nothing. Yeah, go ahead and get yourselves cleaned up. It's about dinner time anyways, so I'll just have her put a few more plates out. And reckon y'all want to get into town tomorrow. I'm assuming you got separated from a group or something.
Yeah. There's definitely someone important we need to find.
Okay. We can grab the horse and buggy and head into town tomorrow. I gotta do some shopping there anyways. Actually, so this works out quite good.
Great. Pink starts like moving the cane, like get your asses in.
Okay,
I
so
finally found a good picture of the picture I used when creating Joan.
oh, cool.
Just with a different hat.
I swear
Oh, I
Vinny's
like it.
holding his breath this whole time.
Ping hears a lack of breathing.
Oh, nice.
God damn it, Vinny, take a breath.
Vinny's like,
So
fuck you.
So you managed to get into this guest room in this farmhouse, amazingly without arousing suspicion. Thankfully, this guy's just super laid back.
Yeah.
You're in the room. You managed to close the door. What do you do now?
Well,
Vinny
that one's
finally
not,
actually breathes, and he's like, fuck this. Fuck all of you. Get me some clothes, stat.
that one's not the smartest, I would say.
I got a shelter and food and a way into town and a way to find information about the town.
Yes, good job, King. Very good job.
Also, I tell you what, no matter where you go in time, people will always feel bad for a blind person.
This is true.
I don't.
Well, that's because you know better.
Oh my goodness.
Okay.
I didn't say it was
So,
accurate.
So you can search the room. You also know that there is a bathroom in the house that you were told about. So how do you go about getting cleaned up, or do you want to search the room, go outside? What do you want to do from here? There's a little bit of time before dinner's going to be ready.
Vinny's going to search the room. He's going to find anything he can make a disguise out of, any extra clothes. He, I assume, has some sewing knowledge, considering he's had to take care of himself and his own clothes for...
Yeah, probably. You could do something roughly. Do you have a sewing kit on you?
I bet the lady of the house does.
No, he doesn't.
Okay. Give me a sight roll to see what you can find.
Okay. He finds that his eyesight has been enhanced. He got 29.
Okay. So there is a closet in there, and you can see there's some different overalls and coveralls that are in there. Look like they're older, they're kind of worn. There is a... let's see... How many are there? 3 yellow flowery sundresses that are in there. They look a little bit faded. As you're looking through, it's starting to become obvious. Like, this is probably like these are our old hand-me-down clothes that we're just going to put in here. A couple of sun hats, like the floppy straw ones with bows and flowers on them.
Yes.
Oh, does Olivia see any of this?
You can roll sight as well. Vinny's got first dibs on everything because he's searching first. But
So he
let's see
just
what
keeps
else.
making gagging noises as he's going through all of this. He's like, ugh.
Okay,
hate
so that's a
dinner.
19 on sight.
Okay. You also find a couple of old pairs of worn work boots in the closet. What did you get again?
A 19 on sight for Alinea.
19
I got
for Linnea. 29. With a 29, you also notice some flags and memorabilia of questionable moral content.
Frickin'
That-
yikes.
Yeah, that
Oh.
would give you an indication that this, if you're not the right type of person, this is not a nice person to be around.
Vinny probably doesn't know what those flags stand for and thinks they look fucking metal.
Oh God.
Better than
Joe-
overalls and sundresses.
Joan would.
Joan
would.
definitely would. Definitely would.
Ping's indifferent because you can't see it anyway.
But, yeah. Does Alinea see the sundresses and flowery
Yes,
hats
you're
and
able.
bows?
Alinea, you're able to see everything except for the flags and Civil War memorabilia, because those are somewhat hidden.
Alinea picks up a yellow sundress with flowers and a sun hat with a yellow bow.
Nice. Okay.
Oh, I guess.
Vinny's like, there is no good clothes here. I'm going to die. I imagine he just kind of, here he is staring at these clothes, trying to figure out what to do with them.
Alinea's like, what do you mean? These clothes are
Oh.
great.
He like lies back on the bed like, that's it. I'm dead.
There
My word's over. I left
forgot,
my
there-
damn coat.
there are a couple of driver caps in there too that are also pretty sun bleached and have a couple holes in them, but they're still usable.
I'm dead. This is the death of me.
Vinny, put something on.
It's all shit. It's all shit.
How what volume is Vinny using right now?
Probably like a low. My life's over.
Okay, good.
No, we're screaming obscenities in the stranger's home.
It's Vinny, so you never know.
Yeah,
Could
fair to
be.
check. Fair to check.
Alini is very happy with her new attire. I fit in! Yay!
Nice.
What was Olenia wearing before?
Alini was wearing a brown tunic that was dirty and dusty.
Vinny snatches that.
Isn't there a bit of a size discrepancy between you?
Yes, there is.
There is.
Not. Yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely
isn't
too
Vinny
small for
huge?
you.
Yeah,
Yeah,
well,
but-
he's thinking like I can use this as at least scrap material to, I don't know, make my life
Exactly.
slightly better.
Okay. So Ping, what are you doing while they're rummaging through this closet?
Sitting on the bed.
Okay. All right. So Vinny, what are you gonna do with the materials that you have at hand?
Well, I guess he at some point realizes, oh man, I don't have sewing material. He's like,
Yes, it's true.
"Ugh."
And I can go ahead and tell you that while your blend-in roll got the shirt cap thing to work, it will not pass more than a cursory inspection.
No.
Just
And he
by
knows
virtue
this.
of what it is.
And he knows this.
So
But
are
luckily,
you still...
the creepy guy covered in bandages and long trench coat totally passed back then. But
Yeah.
Well,
So,
I can say
are-
I'm your physician and that you can't have your bandages exposed too much because you have a horrible skin disease.
yes, that's a great way to get us kicked right out of town.
It's not contagious, though.
I mean,
Ugh.
you could wear a Jones
So-
jacket. You could. Just saying.
It's
You could wear
probably
Vinny
way too
or
small.
It would be too small.
I want to brush my hair.
Okay, go get the brush.
Aww.
Well, the first thing he thinks is, okay, the sun hat would fit, but that's feminine. Like that, the sun hat would cover me up pretty well.
I mean, Ping wears a coat.
Does she? What is Ping wearing?
It's like a doctor's coat. It's long.
A lab coat type?
Yeah, kinda. But more durable because she had it for outdoor wear.
It's slightly dirty and smudged with dust from the fall coming in here.
Here.
Okay.
I just
So
keep
Vinny
with
is thinking, and he says, "Okay."
you. Are these our friends?
So cute.
Ah.
So Vinny says, "Ping, give me your coat."
Fine. First, she empties her pockets.
Okay.
Smart. So, and then Vinny has a shirt, a decent shirt, though it's kind of tattery. And then, do they have like any pants at all? Like,
There's only overalls and coveralls in there as far as pants go, unless you want to wear the yellow flowery sundress, which on Vinny would be comically too small.
Hilarious.
Yeah,
Comically
Eleni's
small.
already wearing it. Eleni's already wearing it.
Oh, there's
well,
two more.
a couple more.
There's two more in the closet. Mostly funny just because it's way too small for Vinny, and it would be more like a long shirt than an actual dress.
Not to mention, does not fit well at all.
No.
Because I mean, in 1920s, you had the Sears catalog, so they're
Awesome.
probably getting things that are starting to get things that are mass produced and stuff. So it's definitely not going to fit anything.
No.
Okay. So Vinny snags the coat. He snags the sun hat for the time being. Though it does tear off that damn flower
Okay.
that's on it and throws it at Linnea.
Alinea catches it and puts it in her pack.
Okay, Alinea, you have a dried sunflower with
Go ahead.
probably about half the petals missing now.
Yeah, she still has her pack, by the way. Her backpack
Oh, awesome.
that she always carries with her.
But he's like, Ping, we should ask them for a sewing kit. This is not going to go well.
You mean I should ask them for a sewing kit? Is that what you're saying, Vinny?
Yes, that's exactly what I'm fucking saying.
Okay.
All right.
But so he's thinking he's going to make a hood out of Alinia's tunic and fuck the sun hat. Well, except not actually fuck the sun hat because...
I was gonna say, you have company, I don't think.
And it's the tunic is full length. It's not just covering. It's all the way down to the feet.
So a
For
decent amount of
Alinea.
fabric there.
Yeah.
That's not a tunic.
It's more of a dress than a tunic, but it's just dirty and plain.
Druid robes.
Yes. It's basically
Literally.
druid robes. Literally druid robes.
Alright, so I guess I'll go try to find someone to ask for a sewing kit.
Okay.
Please.
So, as you exit the room, Ping, you do hear some lighter footsteps coming down another direction up the hall. So the hallway is kind of sort of a T-shaped. So it goes down, there's a couple of bedrooms, and then there's another hall that seems to go off to another part of the house. So from the stem of the T in the hallway, you hear lighter steps coming. And you might be able to pick up on some perfume scent. It'd be faint, though.
Okay, call out to the, good night. You're a very good bat. I love you. Mm-hmm. She hangs upside down off of Dallas every night and wants to be a bat.
That's adorable.
That's adorable.
That is very much.
Anyway, I turn towards the footsteps and say, hello?
Oh, well, hi there, young lady. How are you doing? I understand that you had a bit of trouble here in town.
Oh, yeah, not in town. We were traveling and we hit some hard times. But I was actually wondering if we could borrow some kind of sewing kit. We want to look presentable for the kind meal you're sharing with us. And
Well,
we seem to have misplaced it.
Well, aren't you just all proper and polite? That's great. Yeah, I've got a sewing kit. Let me go get it. There's a bunch of old clothes in the closet there in the guest room. You're welcome to take any of them if you need.
Yes, thank you.
We keep them just for, in case somebody needs clothes or whatnot. Anyways, I'll go get that sewing kit. And she starts walking off towards the other part of the house. It takes her a little while to get it and start to come back, so you're kind of just standing there in the hallway awkwardly for a little bit.
That's what I do.
I skulk in dark hallways.
Alinea and Vinny and Joan, it's been a little bit and Ping hasn't come back. You probably heard part of the conversation, bits and pieces. But that's about it. Do you do anything while you're waiting?
So Joan, seeing Alinea come back, is like, okay, nice. You're blending in. Where's my hat? And Alinea's like,
Doesn't
last time I saw it, it was on the bed, I think. Can you go get it?
oh.
Alinea's like, why don't you go get it? Joan's like, well, if you're going to be that way.
Okay. So your
And Joan-
characters are
Joan goes to get it.
all right. Does she? Is her hat actually there? If Alinea had it last.
No, Vinny's the one that had it last.
Yeah.
Right.
I imagine Vinny did like throw it off as he's been trying to try things on and figure things out.
So it's
he
literally
put his
on the
shirt
bed,
back on.
like Alinea said.
Okay.
So
And it hasn't been stolen.
yeah, Joan's like, I'll be taking this back. Thank you very much. And walks out.
Okay.
Walks out of the house?
No, walks out of the room.
Other room. Okay. Joan, you you pretty much run into not literally, but walk right up to Ping. And you're in the hallway. You can kind of see how it's got that T shape, and I mean you can see where the bathroom is as well.
I'll be right back.
Okay. What do you two do?
Joan, is there anything you've noticed historically we should be aware of? You'd be the one to ask.
You know, I think. Wait, don't have seen the memorabilia. I want to roll for that. I want to roll for that.
Joan did not hunt through the closet, so no.
Oh, Joan has not
But-
been near the closet.
But you could decide that you want to go look for something in the closet. If Joan would want to change her clothing.
Joan does not want to change her clothing. Joan thinks she is very stylish.
Okay, in that case, you could roll education to see if you've picked up on any other hints along the way.
Well, okay. Roll education.
Yeah. Got something in my eyes.
Okay, I'm going to roll that again. That's a nat 20 plus
Nice.
13. That's 33.
So you picked up on a few different things. One, the fact that Henry said he'd get the horse and buggy means that cars are not necessarily super common. Judging by the manner of dress, it's also a little bit, past the Civil War. So you're able to narrow it down to sometime between 1900 and 1930. So you've narrowed it down further. Also, judging by the guy's accent, you're probably somewhere in the South, most likely still in Georgia.
Joan will say this. Judging by Alinia's dress and the fact that I kind of fit in, I would say we're around 1900 to 1940.
Well, that's better than the last estimate you gave, so.
Yes.
Meanwhile, I imagine Vinny's still like, if they do not have a single long coat in this damn world, I'm going to fucking die.
He's like, you're not going to die. Wait, actually, you might. They might
I don't
kill you.
understand.
Actually, they might kill you. So you might die?
Thanks. a lot for that.
I'm just being pragmatic a little bit here because you're a rat, man.
It's about the time that you're
Tell me
having that
something I don't
conversation. Uh, Mary comes back down the hallway holding a basket, and uh, it's got these little balls of yarn and some small spools of thread, and this little stuffed cushion thing just full of different sewing needles of all kinds of different sizes. And there's some scissors in there, and a whole little smaller basket inside of the bigger basket that has thimbles in it. And she hands it to Ping.
Joan's like, fascinating. Starts writing down her notes again.
Just
Thank you
hello.
so much.
You must be one of the other ladies.
Hi,
Speaking of
I'm
Joan.
Joan.
I'm Mary. Nice to meet you.
Oh, and excuse
hold
me,
on.
I'm Ping.
Holds out a hand and
Hold
Yeah.
on, did they think Vinny's a lady?
No,
You
I
don't
didn't
know.
introduce you as a lady. I said your name was Vinny, so
Okay.
I think
You
I
all
used
s-
no, because I said he's our bodyguard.
Bodyguard, yeah.
Yeah,
Mhm.
so
but
So-
Joan holds out a hand. Does the lady shake Joan's hand?
yeah, she pauses for a second, but she kind of takes your hand a little awkwardly and shakes it. Nice to meet you, Joan. Nice to meet you, Ping.
I'll just take this to my compatriot, and I will see you at dinner. Thank you so much.
She says, "Oh, it sounds good. I hope you like butter beans and cornbread." As she
Sounds
says over her shoulder as
delicious.
she walks to the kitchen.
All right, I'll hand
Joan-
it to Vinny and say seethingly, "Leave it nicer than you found it."
Joan sat down, goes back into the room, and starts looking around the room.
Okay, go ahead and roll sight to look around the room.
Cataloging everything because Joan.
Because, of course, Joan.
Vinny, I think, is getting to work
Ooh.
Frankensteining things together to, one, work as a disguise and two, hopefully be somewhat stylish.
37 because Joan.
Holy crap.
37 because Joan.
Okay, so there is one queen-size bed in the room with a couple of different clearly handmade quilts. It's got, a couple pillows on there. There's a dresser. If you look through the drawers, you can see they're mostly empty. One's got a Bible in it. Another one's got probably like, let's see. No, it doesn't have that. Let me see if it has another thing. It does. Awesome. You find a stack of newspapers, old newspapers.
Wonderful. Joan starts going through the newspapers and looks for the newest one.
So the latest one is from 1918. And it's just talking about events that happened in 1918. There's nothing too exciting in that particular issue of the paper, but you're able to tell that you're in Doublegate, Georgia, and it is sometime after 1918.
Did you
And
say
then-
Devilgate or Doublegate?
Devilgate.
Okay.
Double, as in two.
Oh,
Double?
Doublegate.
Yes.
Okay.
Which I will have you all give me a quick education roll. Anybody that sees this or that Joan, I guess, tells this to.
Oop. That's 21.
13.
You were okay. So Joan, you can remember. What I just saw what you said in chat. That's funny. So
What are we rolling?
education. Joan, you
Education.
know that you're in the same place, just different time, basically.
All right, 21.
If Joan, are you relaying this to everyone?
Yeah.
Okay.
Joan would definitely be writing this down and saying it out loud, the year and the place.
Okay. So Vinny, you remember like, oh, we're in the same place that we were roughly. We're in Doublegate, Georgia, just like we were before.
WRP this. 1920s, check. Doublegate, Georgia. Oh, yay. We're in the same place.
So
Okay,
the
so-
gate just
Great.
sent us in time. It didn't send us anywhere, just when.
Yeah.
More or less.
Which means we might be right near the asylum.
Oh god.
Oh God.
And Joan goes to the closet.
Okay. Give me another sight roll.
That is a 22.
22. Since some of the clothes are now taken out and some things have been moved around, Joan does catch sight of the flag and Civil War memorabilia, and you're able to tell that like these guys were really rooting for the South in the Civil War. That's the kind of people they are.
There's not like any white cloaks in there, are there?
No,
No.
nothing that
Good.
extreme.
Dear heavens.
Okay.
If
But
there
you can
were,
tell
Vinny
they were
would
like-
be
Good
wearing-
closet.
Vinny would be wearing one if there were.
Oh
I
no,
assume.
no.
No, he
Hell no.
won't.
Yeah, definitely not. It's just
I
like
mean-
a Confederate flag and some other Civil War memorabilia that's in there, and yeah, it's
Vinny's
just
like, here,
pretty-
hand me that red thing.
it's pretty
No,
obvious that yeah, they really were rooting for the South to win in that war.
I would advise against that for the most part.
I want the red material. Fuck those stars. What do I look like?
Do you want them to shoot you?
What?
They will shoot you if you mess up their flag. That is a rebel flag.
They have a flag in their closet?
Yes, they were really rooting for these southern states to win in the Civil War, and yeah, I believe that's one of their treasured possessions.
They can keep the stars.
Okay, I'm gonna go with we don't deface their property.
Ugh. Should've
And the flag
left it in the closet
and
back.
and items were clearly hidden. They were definitely not meant to be found.
From my research, I would say that people that keep this kind of stuff are very likely to shoot you if you mess with it too much.
Oh, I just did a roll to see if there's another thing in there. Since things have been moved around, and both Vinny and Joan got high rolls, you do find a saber in there. Saber and scabbard.
Fuck yes.
The question is, do you risk stealing it?
Hell yeah, he does. Probably keeps it in the room until they leave, but
Does Olivia notice you stealing it?
I mean, he's not hiding the fact that he grabs it and tucks it underneath the bed.
Oh, Olivia supports this decision.
Roll blend.
And
Roll
Olivia
blended.
goes over to Vinny. He's like, do you need help finding a way to take that out of here?
I'm not taking it right now.
Are you guys stealing from the shelter and help I got us?
Yes. Yes, we are.
Wow. Wow.
So what was it?
I mean, it's shiny.
Blend in.
Blend in. Okay. That's 33.
Yeah, you hide it extremely well. Like you managed to find like a small rip in the fabric on the bottom of the box spring, and actually stick the saber into the box spring, so it's completely hidden.
Wow.
Unless you are looking for it.
So he does, everyone sees him do it, but
Yeah, but like if anybody else came into the room, they would have a very, very hard time finding it.
Joan doesn't care, and Eleni is so.
Okay.
Pain can't see what you're doing, so
Hooray for
You
the
probably
good
hit me.
guys! Eh.
I never said he was a good guy. He's just a good guy.
we're stealing from racists. It's fine.
Vinny is technically whatever Latino type culture is left in 3,000 whatever
36, 36.
36 after the end of the world. So if Vinny was even human, he still would be in trouble.
That's fair. Definitely was a dark time. Darker time than it is now.
So I think how much I imagine Vinny does. Do I have to roll anything for crafting, or?
What are you trying to do exactly again?
So he is trying to make an outfit that actually helps him blend in. So he's working on like turning Alinia's long tunic into like a hood for Pink's coat, and make probably lengthening the sleeves somewhat so that it can actually like fit his body. Luckily he has a kind of like a muscle tee and a black muscle tee and his black pants and boots and belt still intact, but
Okay. I'll let you choose which skill to use, either education or mechanical engineering.
mechanical engineering, friend.
Okay. I was gonna say, depending on which skill you use, it'll look a little bit different.
Okay. All right, for mechanical engineering, that is a 25.
Okay. Yeah, you managed to piece everything together pretty much okay. It definitely has a rougher, more homemade quality about it. The seams aren't quite perfect. There's some frayed edges. If you were going to be in a punk rock band, it would be perfect.
Glorious.
But for the current setting, it definitely does look a little out of place, but it's not bad.
I mean, the next thing he'd want to do is dye it black, which.
I see a red door and I want to paint it black.
But unfortunately, it doesn't seem like there's any dyes or anything he can use, so he's stuck with this brown and white coat thing.
Okay. Do any of you use the restroom and clean up or anything like that?
Ping was actually about to.
Okay. So while Vinny is doing this, and Alinea and Joan, what are you doing at this point? While Vinny's sewing?
So Eleni is kind of just going to sleep about now.
Okay.
And Jones
Taking a nap.
Jones watching intently, taking notes while Vinny's doing this.
Vinny gives Joan a look. It's like, you're welcome to help.
Joan just stares for a long minute and is like, "Oh, yeah, sure." and proceeds to be like, "What do you want me to do?"
I don't know fucking anything except for staring at me and writing in your damn notebook.
Can Joan roll to help out?
Sure. You can roll education or mechanical engineering.
Okay. Let me do that again. Okay, that's 12 plus 13, 25 on education.
Okay, so if Joan is helping you with education, you actually managed to make it look pretty nice.
Oh dang.
I mean, it's still the same material, and it's obvious that those materials don't normally go together, and the tunic's robe thing is still dirty, but they're even seams and straight lines and everything. So it you did a good job with the sewing part.
Yeah, Joan's like, according to my research, this is what the attire of this time looked like, kinda.
I don't fucking care what the attire of this time looked like. I want to look cool.
You managed to make it look like sort of like a Dick Tracy style trench coat, kind of private eye trench coat type.
Nice.
So Ping, as they're doing all of this, you go to the bathroom there in the house, and you're able to, I guess at this point, kind of feel around. You can feel that there's a mirror and a pedestal sink, and as you tap around, you can feel that there is a tub.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah. So what do you do in the bathroom?
Remove the blindfold, wash my face, get my hair wet, kind of get the sweat off of me.
Okay.
Definitely not gonna like undress and get in the tub. Absolutely not. But just kind of freshen up a bit.
Okay. Yeah, you're able to do that, no problem. The water's very, very cold.
That's fine.
But aside from that, yeah, nothing out of the ordinary. About the time that Vinny's finished sewing his new trench coat, you're all finished up about the same at the same time, and that's when you literally hear like the metal triangle instrument, and the metal rod signaling that it's dinner time. And Mary also yells dinner, so you hear. Do you all make your way to the dining room?
Yes, absolutely.
Vinny like tugs his new hood like as far down as he can, and then makes his way over there.
Okay.
Joan seeing this is like, that's for the best.
Roll blend in, Vinny.
Do I have a reroll?
Yeah, you do. You should at least. Everybody should have one reroll.
I have one.
Yeah, Goody should have 2.
Because I rolled a
see.
1. So.
Oh my god.
Yeah, you can use your reroll. I forgot to update the counters here. And the names on the counters too. So this should be Vera.
Please.
They have
Because
1. He's got 2.
it's like, well, this
That's
game's
got
starting
1.
off well. All right.
There we go.
So with blend in, that is a 27.
Okay, so yeah, you managed to get your outfitted on everything and pull it down to where, I mean, you still look suspicious as hell, but you don't look like a rat man. So
Good.
Well, especially since people back then removed their hats at the dining table.
yep.
Do
So
what? You do what?
We'll have to make some kind of excuse.
yep. So you walk into the dining room and you can see there are biscuits, like a basket of biscuits on the table. And that's of course the southeastern U.S. style biscuits. They're all fluffy and pull apart and buttermilk and everything. There's a plate of cornbread, a big bowl of butter beans, a plate of fried chicken, just like tons of fried chicken.
God, yes.
Probably some collard greens with bacon in it, and a giant pitcher of sweet tea. And Mary's actually coming in with the giant pitcher of sweet tea that's got ice in it. And Joan, give me a quick education roll as she's doing this. And she comes out and is like, well, it's not much, but
Ooh.
well, I hope y'all like it. I don't know what y'all fancy foods y'all have up in Canada, but
That's a 21.
okay. But yeah, we we just have simple food here, but I hope y'all enjoy it. Go take a seat and help
Oh, it
yourself.
smells great. We haven't had a proper meal in ages, literally.
Mm.
It smells wonderful. Thank you so much.
Oh, no trouble at all. And she sits down, sets the pitcher down. Joan, what was your role on the education again?
21.
21. You would take note that the fact that there's ice in the pitcher, as being kind of a sign that's something that usually only rich people had at this point.
Yeah. So
So you
Joan
take note of that.
immediately feels a lot less sorry for them. Not that she felt sorry for them in the first place, but
So yeah, I was working.
Joan and feeling sorry for someone just doesn't connect.
No.
Yeah, that's not.
So yeah, I'm assuming you all sit down.
Yeah, Vinny is taking a moment to figure out how the heck he's supposed to eat while wearing a hood all the way freaking down his face and
Yeah.
while trying not to breathe. Apparently, how does one eat when not breathe?
Usually you don't breathe while you're eating. You do that in between eating, in between bites. I mean, I know it's called inhaling your food, but that's not literally.
We don't recommend literally.
No. We'll get to that though. So, Henry sits at the head of the table. Mary sits right next to him on the side. It's a rectangular table. Who sits by whom?
I'm gonna sit as far away from these motherfuckers as I can.
So you sit at the foot of the table.
Sure, or in between some of these guys. I don't want to be at the exact foot because then they're looking directly at me.
Okay.
Joan is sitting 2 chairs away from the wife, and then Alinea is sitting right next to Vinny.
I guess that means I'm sitting right near the head of the table.
So yeah. So we've got
I
basically.
guess I'll sit between Ping and Alinea.
Well, there's a head and a foot, and then 2 seats on both sides. So there's 6
Okay.
seats in total.
So it would
And-
be
Mary's on one of the side seats.
The far left, the far other side of the table, not at the foot, but at the far corner away from them.
so.
You're sitting
where
next
they
to
will
me.
sit. Okay, yes.
Alinea would be sitting at the very end of the table, and Joan would be sitting next to the wife.
Okay,
Yeah, that
so
sounds right.
Joan's
Okay.
next to Mary, Ping's next to Henry, and Alinea is at the foot of the table.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Joan sits properly, but Alinea does not.
How does Alinea sit?
Upside down. No.
So you know that. So they're wooden chairs, right?
Mhm.
So Alinea sits sideways like this.
Good enough.
Okay. Henry and Mary both look at Alinea strangely, like,
Okay.
Henry kind of lifts his head up a little bit. Is like, is that how they sit in Canada?
Joan just shakes her head. No, that was weird.
All right.
Okay.
Well, we're gonna say grace, and so he takes his own hat off,
Oh gosh.
sets it down next to him on the floor, and then Henry and Mary both look straight at Vinny, expectantly.
Oh God.
He's Jewish.
Oh God.
Oh, Joan immediately takes her hat off and puts it like up, like right next to her.
Ping,
My friend.
roll speech.
They cover their heads when they pray. 17.
You've just told the Green Dragon of the KKK that I'm Jewish.
No,
we
not
said there were no
KKK.
robes.
They
No
were
robes.
no robes. They're not KKK. They're just Southern.
They're not KKK.
Just Southern.
Still.
So they're like, what? They don't really believe you.
My friend, he's very devout. He keeps his head covered at all times so that he may be at all times ready to pray to God.
Oh, he's like a monk or something?
Yeah! That is... That is exactly what he is. That's
Vinny
why he
like
doesn't-
lifts his head towards Ping a little, like I'm going to fucking kill you.
Roll speech one more time to see if you can kind of close the deal there.
11, so I guess a 9.
9?
God, can I re-roll that?
Yes, you can.
Vinny's dead. It's campaign 1 and he's dead. You what?
I rolled worse.
You have one more reroll.
Okay, one more. Here we go. 20. It's an 18. It's an 18.
Okay, you're good. You're
He's a
good.
monk
So
of the Dominican order.
The what the fuck?
yeah, Henry kind of goes, I don't know. I've never heard of that order, but well, yeah, you know, religious folk are that's always respectable. So he lifts his glass and was like, "Okay, keep your hood on. We'll say grace."
Thank
and
you, sir.
he goes to set his drink down and goes, "Well, you know what? You being so pious and all, you want to say grace for us?"
Oh fuck.
And Joan, Joan's like,
He
my bad.
looks-
Joan, being smart, says, "I'll say grace."
Oh, all right. So, does Joan just do the standard thanks for the food type prayer thing?
Yes, exactly.
So you say the prayer for the food, and then they start helping themselves. And you know, Mary motions to all of you. You know, help yourself. Just take whatever you want. Make sure you get enough food. There's
just
plenty
sits
more
there.
if we need it.
Yeah, Joan puts normal portions on her plate. Olivia piles food on there and then starts wolfing it down.
Alinea, you probably noticed that this seems to make Mary happy. That you're eating so much food.
And Joan's just being all nice and proper and just
Okay, so yeah, they're kind of indifferent towards what Joan's doing. This way.
Someone want to help a chica out? I don't know where the food is on the table. I don't
And
want to just like hands
so-
all over everything.
Alinea hearing this like, yeah, goes over and puts food on King's plate,
Okay.
and then sits back down like this and starts eating again.
Yeah,
Thank you.
Vinny is like awkwardly helping himself, like he doesn't really freaking know how to navigate this whole situation at all. And then whenever he goes to eat, like he does make these odd gasping noises, like because he literally is not breathing.
Why is he not breathing?
Why would he breathe?
He may be having an anxiety attack.
Breathe, Vinny, breathe.
Ping is gonna offer. Vinny, did you take your medication before dinner?
Vinny doesn't say anything except for a grunt.
Here, how about we get a pill for your mealtime dose? And Ping.
Thankfully, Henry and Mary don't seem interested in this at all. They're eating.
Good. Ping reaches into her. Oh no, her bag. Yeah, she probably has her bag on her.
Okay. That's fine either way.
Yeah, gets a bag and puts it in Vinny's hand, or a pill and puts it in Vinny's hand.
Okay.
Take the pill, Vinny.
Take the pill, damn it!
Vinny's like, I'm going to kill you. And then he just like downs it with the sweet tea, I guess.
Okay. So Vinny, you probably noticed that the tea is extremely sweet to you, coming from a place where there's not really a lot of sugar. By modern standards, it's probably just kind of sweet tea, but there's a lot of sugar in it for a palate that's not used to eating sugar.
So probably he like lifts it away and goes.
Okay. Do a
Yeah.
blend in roll real quick for me to see if you're able to kind of keep your composure, or if you choke on it.
Lydia, Joan, on the other hand, will gag.
Okay.
Oh no. Okay. That is a 17.
17. You probably choke a little bit, but you're able to pass it off as like the pill went down wrong.
Yeah.
So you don't draw any more attention to yourself than just a glance. And Mary probably goes like, "Are you okay, sweetheart?"
Yeah.
Joan will take one sip of the sweet, make a face, set the tea down, and be like, I want water, please.
Okay, 1 second. Okay, so Mary doesn't seem bothered by that. She just goes and gets you a glass of water and comes back.
The food tastes delicious, Mary.
Lydia's like, oh yeah, very good.
I'm so glad you enjoyed it. I don't get to cook for too many folks very often anymore, since our kids moved out.
Oh, how many
often.
children do you have?
We have 6 children.
Good God. Sorry.
Four boys, 2 girls.
That's lovely.
Yeah, they've all moved off and started their own farms and whatnot.
So you've lived here your whole life?
Yeah. Whole life. Born and raised here in Doublegate.
So, Vinny leans over to Ping really closely and it's like, you should ask about Baker and Clark.
Oh, my compatriot here is curious about some names we've heard of in our travels we're looking for. Are you familiar with Baker and Clark?
And Mary just kind of chuckles and goes, well, of course I am. She says, Baker's my maiden name. And you're on the Clark farm.
Oh, Jesus Christ, of course we are.
Joan takes note of this because Joan's last name is Baker, by the way.
Yeah, I remember.
Mrs. Baker, then, or I guess she's not Mrs. Baker now. Can I ask what are your daughters' names?
Yeah, she says, we'll say one's name is Alice and the other's name is Susan.
Do you know any Xanders?
She's like, yeah, that's Xavier's boy, Xander. If you're looking for him, he's probably up at the main estate. This is just we just managed the farm for them.
Oh.
I see.
Wonderful. Man, this is such a turn of fortune that we ended up on this farm.
Give me a speech roll.
25.
Okay, so yeah, you have like the internal screaming going on, but externally you are perfectly polite and charming, and you carry on a perfectly normal conversation.
You know, I came from a large family too, ma'am. It's
really? How many brothers and sisters did you have?
I have 4 older brothers. I'm the baby.
Oh, that sounds like Susan. Yeah, her brothers were always picking on her. And
Yep,
she
that
starts to go
sounds
into
about
this
right.
long anecdotal story about her children and how the brothers would pick on Susan, and goes on for about 30 minutes if you don't stop her.
Like we're going to stop her.
Okay, just checking.
Vinny isn't saying anything. He's just internally screaming this whole time.
Okay,
Joan's
so about
taking notes.
of course she is. So it's this.
And Olivia's still stuffing her face because Olivia doesn't stop.
Okay.
Ping's apparently the only one with table manners. God.
Vinny looks like he has table manners, but that's because he's busy second guessing everything he does.
Well, that's not
Yeah,
what etiquette is. That's etiquette. You just second guess everything.
So Alinea, give me a might roll.
Oh no.
For Olivia,
Oh no.
Alinea, yeah.
Oh no.
watch it be a 1. That is a 20 in total.
Surprisingly, you have eaten so much food and you don't feel sick.
You have an iron gut.
Yeah.
Since this is
Mazel
foods
tov.
that we are not used to, and rich and sugary, and
Yeah,
from
Olivia's
eating
in
like
heaven.
processed foodstuffs that taste vaguely like food.
You
Olivia will belch loudly at this point
Oh god.
and say, "Oh, so good. Time for bed."
Ping,
Henry and
Ping
Mary
came
both.
from money, so she's just like, please excuse her.
Henry and Mary both just look at Olivia like she's grown a second head on her shoulder or something.
And Vinny's just making this kind of.
So at that, Mary goes, well, on that note, why don't I go get us dessert? And she starts clearing off dishes off the table.
Olivia's like, "Oh no, I
Can
don't
any
want
of us
any."
offer you assistance?
Good.
And I'm just gonna like direct my head towards people who could actually help clear the table.
Gold star for Ping.
Let's just do it. Still. Ah, it disappears.
Does anybody offer to
So,
help?
Vinny kicks Joan.
Yeah, Joan's like, okay, okay. I will help clear the table.
Perfect.
She says mechanically as possible.
Thanks, Joan.
So you manage to help Mary clear the table. Henry just sort of sits there at the head of the table. He's kind of leaned back a bit.
And
Does
Olivia
Does
Yeah.
Henry have whiskey?
has to bed.
Probably somewhere in the house, but he's not currently drinking any. Currently, he's got a toothpick,
Damn
and he's
it.
just kind of marinating in this giant meal that he just ate, I guess. And
Same with Olivia, except on the bed.
Joan, you go into the kitchen, and Mary pulls a peach cobbler out of the oven and sets it on the stove, so it's still warm. And grabs some dishes and says, "Oh, could you go get me that ice cream out of the freezer there?"
Joan will go do that.
Joan, give me an
freezer,
education
huh?
roll.
They have a.
Education roll. Wonderful.
Huh.
Okay,
Huh.
that's a reroll. That's 13 plus 14
We're just
is
soaring through these rerolls.
27. No, Joan gets a reroll on every education roll
She,
Oh, that's right.
for free.
Yeah, she gets a free
that's-
reroll. And
That's 27.
okay, so yeah, freezers exist for this time frame, but generally are only like in the wealthiest houses. But you do make the connection that she said they managed the farm for the Clarks, which could explain it.
Yeah.
So they're definitely getting money from somewhere other than just farming.
Yeah, Joan will go get the ice cream and then sit down. And then lean over to Benny. They're rich.
I don't fucking care. I just want this night to be over.
Ping might be the better one to mention it to.
Yeah, Joan will mention it to Ping later after.
Fair
the
enough.
Okay. So as Joan does that, you hear a call from the kitchen. It's Mary going, Joan, I need that ice cream in here.
Oh, wonderful, wonderful. Joan will walk to the kitchen.
Okay, so you take it in there. She dishes up the peach cobbler, puts a scoop of ice cream on each dish, and starts to melt a little bit into the peach cobbler. And Joan
Joan
Go ahead.
being in the kitchen with Mary will ask for the recipe for the peach cobbler.
goes, sure, I'm sure I can write that down for you. I bet y'all don't have too much of this in Canada.
Here's my notebook. Just write it down here.
We'll
Page.
we'll do that after we eat. And so she just hands Joan a couple of dishes of peach cobbler and kind of scoops up the rest of them and takes them to the table.
Joan will help carry all the peach cobbler to the table, and I guess set one in front of Benny and one in front of herself.
Okay. So yeah, you've all got peach cobbler, and Ping, she actually hands you the spoon.
Thank you.
She's like, "Oh, no problem." And she sits down and starts eating her peach cobbler, and Henry's digging into his too, with gusto.
And Joan's cutting hers into tiny pieces and eating it with a fork.
So how long had you
Canada.
worked for the Baker Clarks?
Your face. That expression is just great.
I love it.
Oh well, I've worked here ever since I was married. Henry and I both worked here since we got married. Henry took the job from the Clarks, and me growing up in the Baker family, of course, we Bakers and the Clarks, we've always been real close and everything. So I've been around here my whole life, but working here, just since we got married.
Lovely. And notice anything odd? It's just
And-
we've heard some odd things just riffraff. And
So, as you say, if you noticed anything odd, you hear this chuckling guffaw come from Henry. And he goes, "What you mean other than you lot?"
fair point, sir. Fair point.
No, Joan chimes in and it's like, no, we mean glowing light,
Albert, shut up. Vinny kicks
loud
Joan.
noises, etc.
Okay. He just kind of looks at Joan and narrows his eyes like
Vinny kicks Joan.
he narrows his eyes at Joan and he's like trying to figure out if you're joking
Where are you going?
or not, and he just decides that
He's coming towards
you must be kidding around. He's like, yeah, nothing like that. No, of course not. And
Oh, we
No,
touched
Mary-
of course not.
Mary does
Damn
lean
it,
in.
Joe!
Hi, Jared.
Is Jared okay?
He's fighting a raid on Destiny right now.
Okay.
I think
just
that's
heard
going
damn
on
it, Jared.
on Devin's channel.
Okay.
They're doing the raid, the first day raid.
Mm.
This has been all day.
So Mary leans in close to Payne. He's like, well, actually, now that you mention it, they did build that asylum not too far outside of town. Xavier did. And there have been some weird stories of people going in there and then just disappearing and weird noises, things like that. But but I couldn't say for sure.
Right, of course not. Of course not. And the that asylum, you said outskirts of town?
Oh yeah, it's a couple miles outside of town. There's just one road that goes out there. Little it's barely a road, but it's one little road that heads out there, and that's where the Clarks are doing their medical research, is what they say.
And tell me, is Master Xavier, is he married?
Well, yeah, he's married to Edith.
Edith.
Xavier is not Xander.
Oh, right, duh. Xavier's the dad, right?
Yes.
Xavier and Edith Clark are the parents of Xander.
Right. And any kids?
Oh, they've got Xander.
Mm-hmm. How old is he?
Oh, he's about I reckon he's probably about 20 years old now. Excuse me.
Good age. Good age.
Okay, Gunner. So, Gunner.
Vinny's just holding his tongue. Wisely.
Thank you.
Thank you.
What just happened to the screen?
Oh right.
What the hell?
Oh, sorry.
I forgot that opened up in the same window as on the street. So yes, it's Lisa going.
Vinny's face.
So yes, you've been gift again.
Oh, great. I'm a reaction meme.
Yep. Anyways, so you were saying.
Well, I simply must know, are the peaches in this cobbler handpicked?
Well, of course. I don't think we'd use any of that processed garbage from those northern factories.
Oh, of course not. Not the north.
No, definitely not.
We don't have factories in Canada.
It's like, oh, really?
Yeah. It is a paradise of sufficient men and women.
Roll speech.
10.
Vinny internally screaming.
Yeah, a 10?
I think Vinny at that point like like squeezes Ping's arm or squeezes Ping's leg. Like, shut up!
She's like,
Shut up!
she is like, well, I suppose we all see our homes in a little bit fancier light than it really is. That's okay.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
She just kind of grabs Joan's notebook out of Joan's hand and starts writing down the peach cobbler recipe.
Thank you very much.
Oh, are you getting that recipe, Joan? Good for you.
Good for you!
Good for you!
Vinny just finishes the cobbler as quickly as possible and he's like, nope, and leaves.
Okay. So you head back to the bedroom, I'm assuming.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And the rest of you, do you help Mary with the rest of the dishes? What do you do at the
I'll
end of
help
dessert?
with what I can.
Joan is definitely helping with the dishes.
Okay. So Mary kind of puts her hand on Pink's shoulder and says, "Oh no, don't you worry about it. We'll take care of this. You just rest." And she accepts Joan's help. Is Alinea like in a food coma at this point, or what's she doing?
Olivia's in a food coma on the bed
Okay.
in the guest room.
Okay.
I was about to make a guess.
So it's just Ping and Joan now. Joan, do you do anything in the kitchen or in the dining room, or do you just kind of clean the dishes
Yeah.
and kind of keep quiet?
Joan will help out in any way that she can.
Okay. So she'll, Mary will thank you for the help, and after everything's put away, they'll say, "Well, it's getting late, so we're gonna go to bed." And by late, you can kind of look at the clock and see that it's like 8 o'clock in the evening.
And also see that they have a clock.
Yes. It's a mechanical clock, so it's not anything like electric or super fancy or anything like that. Though there are electric lights in the house, which is of note.
Joan's just thinking to herself, I get plenty of accolades for documenting this so well. That's just her
Oh my gosh.
internal thought.
Okay. I completely lost my train of thought there for a second. Where was I going with that?
Choo-choo.
Oh yeah, so she said, I suggest y'all get some rest as well. We'll head out to town in the morning.
Wonderful.
And
Thank you again.
Oh, you're very welcome. Always happy to help out a traveler in need.
Joan will.
As long as they're white. I mean, what?
Yep.
Joan will direct Ping to the guest room in an uncharacteristic manner. For
Thank
Joan.
you.
So as soon as they enter the room and the door's closed, Vinny just like, I don't know, Vinny's been lying down on the floor, like face first, and he pops up and he's like, we need to get out of here.
And Joan's like, get out of here. We just got here. What are you
I
talking
don't care.
about?
We need to get out of here.
Look, we're just gonna
Also, we're
sleep
in the
tonight.
exact right place. We can kill him before he gets old enough.
We got, we just got to stay the night. They're leaving in the morning. We can get to town and figure things out from there. But there's no need to.
We know where the asylum is. Let's just go. Let's just go.
But we have no
We are-
guarantee that that's where he is.
He may not be, but we know that Clarkium is.
Well, not necessarily. He's not old enough for that to be the case right now.
We don't know if they
Our
fully
Xander
discovered it.
is still here. He went through that portal. I don't know where he is. He's still here. It's not just that 20-year-old we have to deal with.
What
And we
happens
know
if
what
they
he's
find
after.
each other?
But we do have the perfect opportunity to at least have the chance of finding him and killing him while he's a kid.
He's not a kid. He's 20. Plus, what happens if they find each other?
Doesn't matter.
It might.
Well, he doesn't have magic powers right now. Because no
No,
one
I
does.
mean, what would happen? How would you feel if you met yourself from a different timeline? Who knows what that could do to you or to the timeline itself?
All the more reason we need to hurry and find him.
After that kind of meal,
I
do
vote
any
we
of us
find the
feel like...
Clarkium first.
Look, he said they're
Wherever it
leaving in
is,
the
he's
morning.
soon to follow.
Chances are Xander's resting too. We put him through hell.
You just hear loud snoring from Millennia.
Where we are is safe. May as well take advantage of it for one night.
Nowhere's safe.
And Joan's like, I agree with you there, but we can still have a chance of finding Xander in the morning.
He's not going to get far. He's not going to... If this is where the Clarkium is discovered, he's going to hang around here.
We know where it is. It's in the asylum. Just want to go now.
And do what?
I don't know. Destroy it? Wait for him?
Uh-huh.
Heading directly to the asylum is not the most efficient use of our time.
I'd say it's the most efficient use of our time.
No.
We ran in blindly last time. Is that really the best idea to do it again?
I mean, there may not be very much magic, but we did not stand a chance last time. And I'm glad that I was not stupid enough to engage.
Stand
like
a
the rest of you.
chance! Do you not remember? Oh, of course you don't, sir. I killed him. And then Siri happened. He was
Yeah,
dead.
she did.
You did not kill him.
I
He is
did.
still alive.
I killed him, and Sari turned back the clock.
So
He
as
was
Vinny
dead
says
by my
this,
hand.
Ping and Joan, because Eleni is asleep, the two of you would probably realize that you have very fuzzy memories on what exactly happened there. As you actually try to think about it, you see, like in your brain, you feel a couple of different versions of what happened. One that seems kind of like what Vinny said, and another that seems completely different. Let me have you both roll discipline.
Oh, great.
14.
15.
Okay. So Joan and Ping, as you realize you have these like two conflicting sets of memories, you both get a really bad headache. Doesn't last very long, but it's enough that you probably would hold your head and like, ah! And your sanity goes down 1 each.
How
If
much
you
sanity
need-
do we have?
Where's, yeah.
So if you need your sanity from last time, because that did not reset, Eleni is at 7, Joan is at 5, Ping is at 5, and Vinny, you're at 9.
Of course he is.
So at 4 now.
No. Joan and Ping are at 5. That's after the point reduction.
Okay.
So yeah, and you have that familiar, more time magic fuckery feeling.
So, do they remember vaguely?
Yeah, you remember what Vinny's talking about, but you also remember something completely different happening.
Yeah, in one timeline, but I still think you're stupid for engaging with him.
Sit on this and spit on it, bitch.
All right. So, are you all sleeping there tonight? You're muted,
Vinny?
Lisa.
Yeah.
I
Joan
said,
will,
Vinny, that is no way for a monk to speak.
Joan will go
Shut
in.
up.
Joan will go in Olivia's pack and get out her bedroll and sleep on that
Okay.
because Joan has no morals.
Vinny's going to wait until Joan's asleep. And then I think he's gonna sneak out to check out the asylum.
Okay. Vinny, roll blend in, and since you're asleep, Joan,
Is
let's.
Ping is a light sleeper, isn't she?
Ping's not even asleep yet. And yes,
Okay.
Ping is a light sleeper.
So I guess Vinny's kind of waiting for everyone to settle down.
Okay.
I mean, it sounds like Ping is a little bit more on the fence, but Joan's like, you're stupid for even considering engaging, and Vinny ain't about that.
Okay. So Joan, give me a hearing roll with, we'll say, a -2, since you're probably not super deep asleep because it is an unfamiliar surroundings, but you are asleep.
That is an 18.
My blend in roll is 26.
Okay, and then Ping, go ahead and just do hearing, just normal.
$21.
Okay, so yeah, you are able to sneak out. I'm gonna say that Lenny doesn't get a roll because she's in a food coma.
Oh, no, I was not expecting Lenny to get any kind of roll.
Also, the timing on Jared
Yeah.
going, no! Lenny doesn't get a roll, no!
So,
Do you take the saber with you, or do you leave it?
it's a good question. He does have his combat knife.
Mhm.
As combat gloves, he just doesn't have his gun.
Yeah, that
So
got
I
destroyed.
think he'll leave it.
Okay,
He.
so you sneak out.
I think. I think he pauses and actually shakes Ping awake a little bit.
Okay, Ping wakes up.
It's
What?
like, I'm checking out the asylum. I'll be back before dawn.
God. I'll go with you in case you run into anyone and need a cover story.
You're blind. I sneak.
You're a rat!
I'm used to sneaking.
This is a world with law enforcement that patrols at night with guns.
Good. I need a gun.
Jesus, God. Not a challenge.
Oh my gosh.
Too bad Joan can't hear this.
It's like, I'll be fine.
What am I gonna tell the farm people when they wake up before dawn? Because that's what farm people do.
That I went on a walk.
Wow, okay. And if you need help, what you gonna do, genius?
I don't need help.
Uh-huh. Yeah, boy, that's worked out so well for you before in the past.
Oh well.
At least I bothered telling you, right?
Fine.
Fine.
Don't go into the asylum. Outside only.
If I see him, I'm going after him.
Will it be the right one?
It will be.
Fine. But you
So-
better be back.
I really wish Joan could hear this.
Right?
All right. So yeah, Vinny sneaks out, and I think the 26 still applies, right?
Yeah, you're able to sneak out, hop out the window, no problem. Everybody is sound asleep, and Ping has basically agreed to let you go without raising an alarm.
Mm-hmm.
So,
I'd say
Get-
Alinea wakes up first,
probably.
Well,
and then
Um,
kicks Joan and says, "That's my bedroll." And then Joan says, "You took the bed. What did you expect me to do?" Not.
except I don't think it's morning yet, dudes.
it's not morning yet, but
No.
Although
that,
that's
that's
funny.
that's fine that happens in the morning, though. That's really funny.
Solid dialogue. 10-10 with dialogue again.
So, Venny, it is nearly pitch black dark, um, and snuck out the window. Do you know which direction the asylum is in?
Um, let's see. They talked about there being one road leading there, and we sure as hell know all the woodlands around that area.
Mm-hmm. Well, you know
Uh,
them roughly 2,600 years from now.
Well, fair enough. But no, I mean, we were there in the 20s as well.
Were you there in the 20s?
Yeah, remember we saw the two illusions the 2
Uh-huh.
times, and Vinny brought it to the 20s.
Mm-hmm. The inside of the asylum, yes.
Still, all right. I would say that he has a general idea. Do I need to roll?
Yes. Roll education.
You hate me. Anyways. It's
What
like,
did you
here,
get?
let me pick your lowest stat. Roll that. Okay, I got a good roll anyway. So 21.
21. So after you get outside and you're like, wait, crap, which way is it? Let me think a second. You're like, well, if we're at the Clark estate, then I know in the future from the Clark estate, the asylum is that general direction, which goes through one other farm field and goes into the woods, is all you can see in that general direction. Do you go traipsing through the woods?
Heck yeah. I go traipsing through the woods.
Okay. So you make it through the fields, no problem. That's not an issue. When you get to the forest, give me a naturalist roll to navigate through the forest. So there is no trail.
Okay, that is 18.
18. So you go in circles a couple times here and there, but more or less you manage to eventually make your way in the direction that you're wanting to go. You walk for about an hour, and then you realize you can hear some city noises. It's quiet because it is roughly 9 or 10 o'clock at night now. You see a couple of lights off in the distance, and some human activity, but it's distant. But you're probably getting close to a road.
Okay. And they said at the edge of town, there's only one road that leads there. Right?
Yeah, it's on the outskirts of town, and there's a road that leads to it, and it's the only road that leads to it.
Okay. Then he continues forward.
Okay, give me another naturalist roll.
You hate me. You hate me so bad. Okay.
You're going into the forest at night.
15.
15. Yeah, you try to make your way towards where you heard some of those noises, trying to look for a road, but you get kind of turned around and realize that you really only kind of made a slight bit of progress towards that direction.
What time is it about?
So it's probably about midnight now.
Okay. I'm gonna try again.
Okay.
Alright. Oh, okay. Much better. That's 21.
Okay. You find your
No,
way to
22.
the 22. Yeah, you find your way to the edge of town. It only takes about a half hour to get the rest of the way there. And you do see a couple of roads that lead out of town. One is actually paved. There's a paved road that leads out of town, kind of goes off into some of the forest area, off in one direction. There's a road that's about the same width, but it's dirt road, that goes, kind of seems to loop back towards where you came from. And then there's another road that's a small little gravel road that goes off in a different direction.
Do I remember what the pavement was like at the asylum? Because we were on that road.
At the asylum, the road was paved.
Okay. I'm gonna roll gut feeling
Okay.
just to double check. I know which one Vinny would want to follow. Okay, 22.
With a 22, you feel like you might have heard something in the house that would be useful here. If you could only remember what it was. Which is, hint, you can roll education to see if you can remember it.
Okay. That's 16.
You vaguely remember overhearing Ping and Mary talking, and Mary saying something about the road that leads out there. Something other than the fact that it's just a one road that leads out to the asylum, and only one road. Can't quite put your finger on what it was.
Ugh. Okay. So the dirt road looks like it circles back.
Yeah, there's a wide dirt road that looks like it circles back towards town, a paved road that leads out of town, and a narrow gravel road that goes somewhere out of town as well.
All right. Vinny is going to head for the narrow gravel road.
Okay. So you make your way down that road without too much trouble. So you walk for about another hour. So it's about 1 a.m. And you're still going down this road. You're surrounded by trees on both sides. It really seems more like a... Jeep trails aren't really a thing yet, but that's kind of what it feels like.
So not quite what I'm looking for.
It is a road that leads in this direction. It's the only road that leads in this direction. But all you're seeing so far is trees. Do you keep going, or do you head back?
Let me gut feeling that.
Okay.
All right. That is a 27.
You're not sure why, but you feel like this is the right road. Like you made the right choice.
Okay. Then he keeps going.
Okay. As you continue on for about another hour, it's about 2 a.m. now, you can see some, what looks like gas lamps off in the distance. That indicates it might be a building.
All right. Okay. He's going to keep going.
Okay. So you walk for about another hour, about 3 a.m., and you come up to a familiar looking sight. Of the asylum.
Ugh, too damn soon.
So
Never
you see
again
a
will
shiny...
be too soon.
You see a shiny brass sign on that fountain that says the Park Research Asylum. And the paint looks great, and there's gas lanterns in most of the windows. Looks very, very new and fancy. Very clean.
Okay, so Vinny's going to patrol around. He's going to look in the windows. He's actually kind of curious, like, what actually does the layout of this place actually look like when there isn't magic fuckery going around.
Okay. First of all, give
Like,
me a blend in
I
check.
guess huh?
So first, give me a
Okay.
blend in check.
It just occurred to me something else Ping should have warned Vinny about.
A little too late, ain't it?
Yeah.
18.
Okay.
Oh well.
So you're skulking around. Give me a sight roll to look through one of the windows.
Not 20.
Nice. So yeah, you look through a couple of the windows, and look through a couple of the windows, and you can see the layout is sort of like a pentagon. So it's got five essentially these giant halls that kind of uh, envelop a courtyard. So that's pretty much the same as what you remember. The insides, you can see there's a lot of hallways. It's 3 stories, and each hallway kind of branches off into a lot of what you assume are like hospital rooms, essentially.
For once, he wishes Joan was here to write this stuff down.
There's black and white tile floors. You see some orderlies walking around, kind of checking the doors to each room, making sure they're locked.
So, doctor or?
Orderlies.
Okay.
So, kind of, sort of, not really nurses.
Okay. So that's something to keep in mind. Is there any sign of Xander?
You don't see any in this window.
Okay. I'm willing to take another hour, but once it's like 4 o'clock, he's going to head home.
Okay. Give me a hearing roll.
Nat 20. Whoa!
Whoa, nice. What would that make your score?
That would make it 27.
Okay. So you hear just the barely faintest snapping of a twig behind you.
All right, he's going to hide and then try to figure out where that noise came from.
Okay. How do you hide? You're currently at
So I
one of the
imagine he
windows.
ducks. Is there there's bushes and stuff nearby, right?
Yeah, there's some
log.
bushes.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
He heads for the bush.
Okay. Go ahead and roll blend in.
Okay. That is a 26.
26. Okay. So you duck behind a bush, just in time to see another orderly, basically walk right to where you just were, unhood his lantern, and hold it up and start looking around. And he stands there for a while before he starts moving a little bit further away, and he seems to be circling the area, looking very attentively with his lantern up. How long do you wait?
I wait until he moves a decent amount away. I would say far enough that I can move comfortably, but not so far away that he won't hear me at all, right?
Okay,
So if he was to turn at the wrong time, he would probably see me sneak away.
Okay, so you don't wait terribly long. You basically just wait for him to kind of step far enough away to make a bolt for it.
Break for it, yeah.
Okay, go ahead and roll blend in.
Can I do blend in / nimbleness or just blend in?
It's just blend in because you're trying to hide.
Okay. That is a 32.
Okay, so yeah, you manage to slink away. As you do, you kind of duck behind another tree just in time where two more orderlies with lanterns come out and they're searching the outside. You can get
Do
away
I?
scot-free now if you leave right this minute, but you won't get any more information about the asylum.
Okay. Can I roll gut feeling? Like, was there something to keep them attentive outside, or?
Yeah, you can try.
Okay. As far as like gut feeling goes, that is a 23.
23. Um, so you just get the feeling that, it is an asylum, and you remember that they were checking the locks on the doors. So maybe they're just checking to see if somebody escaped.
Hmm.
You definitely get the feeling that somebody saw you.
Hmm.
Because they were looking at specific places where you were.
Hmm. Okay. That's interesting. Vinny doesn't think maybe they didn't see him, but somebody else knows he's there.
Yeah, they're definitely looking for somebody, and they've been looking exactly where you were hiding originally.
Okay. Yeah, no, I'd say Vinny has a decent amount of information right this second. So he is going to head back. Plus it's getting late. Or early.
Okay, so you head back. You're able to follow the road easily enough. So you get back probably to the edge of town around uh
5
5
a.m.
a.m.
Yeah.
You still have to find your way back to the farm. Do you try to go through town, or do you try to make your way back through the woods?
There's that dirt road, right?
There is a dirt road, yeah. It
Uh,
does seem to circle back towards that area.
yeah, Vinny's gonna head like alongside the dirt road.
Okay. Um. Yeah, you walk for a bit, and then let's see. You probably come across this site after a while.
Ah, the estate.
Um. Yeah, it's obviously quite a lot darker than in this picture, and you do notice that it's obviously you don't really see it in this picture here, but this particular house that you're looking at is on a bit of a hill, so it kind of overlooks the town. The road kind of tilted back upwards as you walked along it. Um,
Hmm.
there's some electric lights in a couple of the windows, but they're dim, and you don't see any signs of movement or activity.
Uh, Vinny is going to make note of this, but keep moving towards where the farm was.
Okay. So the road ends at the house. So
Okay.
you remember
So kind
enough
of have
of the
to.
direction. Yeah, you remember the direction enough that you can try to go through the woods.
Yeah. And they said that's kind of like in the back of the Clark estate, anyways. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah. All right. Yeah, Vinny will head that way.
Okay, give me a naturalist roll.
You still hate me for making me all these naturalist rolls, but 19.
19. Okay. Yeah, you make your way through the woods. It's about 6 o'clock. The sun's starting to come up. You're still in the woods, and you haven't come across the farm where you thought it would be. Um, give me another naturalist roll.
Not 20.
Awesome. So you make your way in the direction that you're pretty sure the farm should be in. and come out of the woods at a building that looks kind of like this, but new and fancy. And you hear water, running water in the distance a little bit.
Okay. So this isn't the farm.
Nope. On that note, we're gonna pan back over to Pangolini and Joan. Who you all wake up. It's you hear a rooster crowing. It's probably about 6:30 in the morning, maybe 7 would be your guess. There's no Vinny. You're muted, Lisa.
I realized that. I was muted too. So you hear that dialogue you were hearing before, and then
With Lydia and Joan.
Yeah. And then Olivia's like, I didn't expect you to do that. I expected you to at least, you know, not go through my stuff. And Joan's like, I've seen you pull it out before. And Olivia's like, you didn't know that was the only thing in there? What else do you have in there that you don't want me to find?
No.
What do you have in there that you didn't want me to find? And he's like, nothing.
My
Don't worry about it.
What's the
vibrator.
problem then?
My God.
And Olivia's like, you went through my stuff. Joe's like, I don't see the problem here.
Ping's gonna interrupt them. Ladies, is Vinny here?
They both look at you and say, huh. Joan's like, where is Vinny? And he's like, I don't know.
Listen, he decided to take a late night stroll to check out the asylum last night. He said he'd be back by morning.
What an idiot, Joan says. And the lady's like, oh, we should go find him.
Look, just play it cool with the farmhands or the farmers. If they ask, just say, you know, he was on a meditative nature walk.
Beautiful. Perfect.
Thank you. I tried. It's a meditative nature walk. That's a thing.
And Lydia's like, yes, that's absolutely a
He's
thing. I've
in the
done that
woods praying to
before."
God
She's praying to God for something. I don't know.
for golden
Well-
plates.
I mean, you don't have to pray to anyone to do a nature walk. I've done them several times before.
He's a monk, so we'll just say he was contemplating nature and glory of God or whatever. So just play it cool. We can wait around for a little while here and see if he turns up, but I don't know where he is.
Right about the time that you say, I don't know where he is, you hear hold on. Doesn't work if I tap my mouse pad on the door. Are y'all up yet? We're getting ready to go to town now.
Yes, thank you. We're all up. We're just getting our stuff together.
Some of us have gotten other people's stuff together.
She's like, oh, I don't, maybe that's a Canadian saying, I don't know what that means, but we'll be out in front. There's sausage and egg biscuits on the counter. Just grab one on your way out. And you hear little footsteps walking away.
Look, we don't know where he went. We don't know what happened to him. He could have been annihilated by Xander for all we know, or he's lost.
Isn't the person that... Yeah,
Do we still go into town? Or do we wait for him here?
Lydia's voting staying here while Joan is like, we should go find him, of course. We'll go to the asylum.
All right, Alinea, I mean, it's probably rude to stay at someone's house while they go to town, so you coming with us?
And then he is going to hesitantly go with you.
Okay. So I take it you all hop onto the buggy and go into town with Henry and Mary.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. It takes you all a little
Tell
while to
them?
get there.
Do you even
What?
tell them that Vinny's not there?
No one asked.
Yeah.
Oh gosh.
Yeah, about halfway into town, that's about the point where Mary turns to me and goes, "Wait, where's that monk friend of yours?"
He took a early morning meditation stroll, nature walk.
Oh, okay. Did he just want to walk into town, I guess?
Probably.
That seems
He
like a
might-
monk thing to do.
Definitely.
He might be already there.
Yeah, maybe he'll meet us there. He's really good at, being proactive.
Okay.
He's really fast too.
Both of you give me a speech or charm roll.
Okay, Alinia's speech and charm are both 1. So
Oh my god.
also it's Alinia.
That's when you're like, we're all going to die.
15.
8.
Okay. So, she pretty much believes Ping. And she just kind of looks at Olivia as she speaks and then turns to Ping and goes, "She does know, like, monks usually don't, fraternize with or marry or things like that, right?" You get the impression that Mary just assumes that Olivia just is like, "Betty's the best. He's so fast and strong." Basically is how she takes it.
Oh yeah. Olivia's just enthusiastic about Vinny.
It's like, okay, all right, well, yeah, we'll just
Actually true.
maybe we'll meet him in town then. And
Yeah.
after a little while longer, you all end up in town, which looks a little bit like this. Couldn't find a really good picture of an older town, but you've got, kind of these long stretches of buildings that are all right next to each other and a main street. A lot of the buildings, there's stores on the bottom floor and little apartments on the top. You immediately, Joan and Alinea immediately can spot a cafe and a restaurant, a post office, and a sort of a general store. And then Ping, you can sort of get the sense from some of those. So you can smell the restaurant and the cafe as you pass by. There's a lot of talking, and you can hear some jazz coming from the direction of the cafe. And everybody in town seems to just be kind of really happy, and there's a sort of just really positive energy around the whole place. Eventually, Henry and Mary stop the buggy by the general store and say, "Well, here you go. If you need to get in touch with somebody, there's got telegrams and everything at the post office there, and yeah, I'm sure you can get in touch with whoever you need to from here."
Yeah. Thank you
Jones
so
going-
much. You're,
John's
Does
going to ask before they leave. Do you know where this asylum is?
Where the
well, I
asylum
believe
is?
they said
They
follow
already
the
do.
road out of town.
It's just, oh yeah, it's back that way. She kind of points towards the other end of town, and says, "Yeah, there's a gravel road. You just take it all the way out there. I wouldn't recommend, going out there by yourself for no reason. I mean, they might think you escaped and lock you up."
I'll,
She kind of
Yeah.
looks at Ping and points to Lydia and goes, "Especially that one."
yeah. I'll, we'll be careful. Thank you very much for all your
Oh, no.
help.
No problem. Well, if you're ever in the area again, just drop by and let us know how you're doing.
Absolutely,
And-
Mary. Thank you.
With that, Henry just ties up the horse to a post, and then they go into the store. Is there anything that Ping, Alinea, and Joan that you want to do in town, or are you going to go straight for the asylum?
Well, we don't have any money, do we?
No.
No, but you could look for jobs.
What am I going to do? Beg on the side of the street?
That's an option.
I mean, do we need
Right. It's a
anything?
beautiful day outside, and I can't see it. That'll get him.
Yep.
Mm,
Do we need anything in town? I can't.
Joan is already heading in the direction of the asylum.
Okay.
And then Ungani is like, wait up.
So, Ping,
And-
I'm going
and-
to assume you follow after them as they're leaving you.
I guess.
Yeah. Ungani guides Ping.
Okay. So you all start heading towards that end of town, and we'll go back to Benny here. So yeah, you hear water running off in the distance, and it becomes very clear, like, I expertly navigated into the wrong direction.
Noise.
Wow.
So
I was really hoping Benny would get back to the right place.
so at this point, you realize that that estate that you saw was not the Clark estate. This is probably the Clark estate.
Well, hey. What? Well, found it.
So you're able to get your bearings a little bit better now, and you can kind of guess where you were supposed to go. As you realize, oh, this is the landmark I thought I was at. So if I go in that same direction that I tried to go the other time, I should end up back where I'm trying to go. Do you immediately head back towards the farm, or do you
Well, okay.
check this place out at all?
What time of day is it now?
You're hearing a rooster crow at this point.
Okay, so it's dawn. I don't know how early they wanted to head into town.
Do you know they're farmers, and that usually means if the rooster's crowing, they're awake.
Ugh. Alright. So Vinny might change his plans and head towards town, but first he's going to actually take a look around the Clark estate.
Okay. Give me a sight roll.
Alright. That is... Alright, that is a 25.
25?
Mhm.
Okay. So as you look around, you notice one of the windows open up. And you see this sort of... It looks like a heavy rope, but you can tell it's not made for, like, heavy rope type things. It looks like a decorative silk rope. It's gold colored and a little bit shiny, but it's long, and it's thrown out the window, and so it's hanging on the side. It's on the second floor, and as you watch, you see the back end and two legs of a clearly female body.
It's Minerva. It's Minerva.
Yep, climbing out, and yeah, as she gets the rest of the way out, you're like, that's Minerva, and you hear her giggling, and you see a tuft of white hair poking out through the window, and
no.
a male voice going, "Shh, you're gonna get us caught."
Oh God.
She's like, "Hurry, they're gonna find you." And so you see her like slide the rest of the way down the rope and start running towards the direction that you came from, towards the other estate.
Her and the young Xander, right?
Yep. You see, yes, who's clearly the young Xander, rapidly trying to pull that rope back up into the window.
Oh God, I wish Joan were here.
All right, and he's not following. It's just Minerva.
It's just Minerva, and it's
Okay, I'm
clearly
gonna-
the young original Xander, not.
And this
Not
is
the new
OG
one.
Minerva.
Yep. Who's clearly had a in the Clark estate.
Naughty.
Oh my
Get
gosh.
it, girl. Get it.
Yes.
Oh my.
Get
Oh,
that
boy.
crazy dick.
Oh my goodness.
No, Vinny's gonna follow her, blend in. He's gonna blend in
Okay.
and follow her, and then find a more polite time to approach her.
Okay. Roll
Because
blend
if this is OG Minerva, she's still sharp as a tack.
Yeah, she hasn't been scattered.
Yeah.
Well, she's been scattered last night, if you know what I'm saying. But no, she
Oh. But if
She-
there was anyone that Vinny could talk to and figure out what's going on, it would be her.
Yes. Okay. So roll blend in. And Rowan,
Okay.
as we would say, you could say, but her aim is getting better.
Oh God.
yes.
27.
Okay. Yeah, you're. For all intents and purposes, you are successfully stalking the young Minerva through
Oh,
the
God.
woods
Gonna
in
make
your
me feel
monk
like a creep.
outfit. The rat man in the
Sorry.
monk outfit and hood,
I
quietly
mean,
The
you're
tracking.
extremely
Big
large
bad
rat
wolf at
man
this point.
is stalking the young woman in the 1920s. It's fine.
Big bad wolf.
It's fine.
Just a
Riding
little
Hood.
bit.
It's fine.
So I guess, is she getting close to the other estate? Is that what's going on?
Yeah, after about 30 minutes, you can kind of hear some sounds coming from the house, and you hear her under her breath going, "Shit, already up."
Okay. It's about that point that Vinny from the bushes calls for Minerva.
And you see her freeze
Not creepy at all.
and stiffen up and reach for something in her bag.
Oh God.
Told you they have guns.
She
gosh.
is basically like completely frozen other than the one hand, and she's clearly listening.
Minerva, I need your help. Don't shoot.
She spins
Had
around
enough
and
of that.
looks for where the voice is coming from, and she's like, "Look, I'm kind of in a hurry here, so not sure who you are, creepy voice, but I gotta get home, so I'm gonna go." And she starts
Wait.
backing away from you. She
She,
still doesn't quite see you.
He gets out of the bush. Before you go.
Okay. So at that point, you hear a hammer click on a gun.
Oh God.
And she pulls it out of her bag and goes, "Hey, you just need to back the hell off.
He puts
I'm
up his
going-
hands.
I'm going home. Go away, and nobody has to get hurt. I'm really in a hurry here."
Obviously. but I don't know who else can help me. I'm from the future.
Oh, okay, crazy person.
It's okay. I'm from the future.
The asylum where the time machine is that way, and she points towards the asylum.
Oh my fuck.
And
He
so
takes
you
off
can
his
go
hood.
get help there.
He takes off his hood.
Roll dodge.
Okay.
Yikes.
Okay. Dodge. You mean nimbleness?
No, I mean dodge.
Okay. All right. 26.
So the gun goes off. She shoots, and you hear a ricochet as the bullet hits a tree right next to you and ricochets off behind you.
Goes, do you want to get caught?
And she just starts yelling like, "There's an escaped asylum person here!"
Okay.
And starts running away from you.
Nope. Vinny's gonna grab her.
Okay.
God, just double down. Double down.
Nibble this roll.
Vinny's not good at talking to people.
No shit, Sherlock.
All right, nimbleness. That's a 30.
Okay. Just quick thing in Discord there. So with a 30, yeah, you managed to catch her. Roll might.
Catch.
See if you can hold on to her.
Yeah, he's going to, stop her from yelling.
Great.
Shut up. I know.
Okay, so Xander's supposed to be like 20, right?
Yeah, thereabouts.
Okay, so by that time period, that means that Minerva is like tops 18.
She's actually the same age. They were born.
Oh, they would say me, because I was going to say, chances
same
are you're
year.
grabbing a 16-year-old and abducting her.
No.
No,
She's not abducting her.
They're both somewhere between 19 and 21.
Let's make it better.
No, it doesn't.
Not abducting. Not abducting her.
Not
Okay.
abducting.
Uh-huh. Restraining and keeping from yelling, though.
Okay, so what was your might roll again?
My might? Okay. Oh boy. That's a 30.
Okay, so you've got a hold of her. Just roll 1d20.
Oh gosh.
Is this going to turn into, like, Of Mice and Men?
I don't know.
I don't
Oh,
know.
God.
18?
Okay. You hear another gunshot, and you've been shot in the gut. Take 6 damage.
God.
She's going. And you hear the hammer click again. What do you do?
No, he's gonna let go and get out of here.
Okay. Give me a nimbleness roll. Let's see how fast you hightail it out of there, Ratman.
Sheesh.
If only there'd been a blind person you could have listened to.
Seriously. Okay, he hightails it, I'd say fairly fast. That is a 28.
Yeah, you book it out of there. Do you give any thought to not leaving a trail?
I mean, yeah.
Okay, do a blend-in check as well.
Okay. That is... Oh, 28.
Okay, perfect. So as you're speeding off, you're realizing, oh hey, I'm bleeding. That's leaving a trail. And you have the vaguest memory of hearing somewhere that in the past they had these things called bloodhounds.
Oh, great.
and they were popular in this region. And so you realize I should go through some water. So you have the option to go away from the farm towards the lake or the river. It's like a river that opens up into a lake and then back into a river. So you have the option to go that route, which is closer to the Clark estate, or you can hightail it through the woods, but leave a trail that they might be able to follow.
Yeah, I'll go to the lake. I'm late already.
Okay. So yeah, you book it. You make it to the lake, and are able to kind of dive in and swim away, and you'll be on the other side of the Clark estate. Back to the scene that you left, Minerva runs back to her house, and a bunch of people are running towards the woods with guns and dogs. And they stop her and they go, what happened? And she says, some sort of, I don't know, it's like I know monsters don't really exist, but it looked like a giant rat man. It looked like he was from the asylum. He tried to grab me and called my name and said he was from the future or something. It was clearly crazy. Anyways, he assaulted me, so I had to shoot him. And then he ran away. And then one of the people who you can't quite... We all can't quite make out who it is. They go, "Wait, why are you out in the woods dressed so early in the morning?" "I was going for a meditative nature walk." "Oh, that makes sense. Good. Glad you took your gun with you." "All right, always do, Dad. Thanks." She runs back to the house. And I think that's where we'll end.
That went about as well as it could have.
I agree. I thought it was gonna go like Mice and Men, and you were gonna kill her on accident.
No!
You might want to... Yeah. You can see my reactions in the Discord. Oh my god.
Oh gosh, there's so many.
Yep.
Oh, those are great.
Pretty much.
Oh,
Yeah,
those are
no.
great.
Vinny sucks at this. Here he is. He's doing something he never does, which is to reach out to somebody, and it went horribly.
Yep.
See, when they say reach out to somebody, it's not literal.
There's my reaction.
Not to say I told you so, but... Oh my goodness. Well, that was fantastic. Great episode 1, everybody. You've managed to get in trouble already.
Yeah.
Of course.
I mean, Vinny's managed to get in trouble. Olivia, on the other hand, has managed
Vinny's
not
used to
get in
getting
trouble.
what he wants.
Like, I was
Nice.
expecting Olivia to get in trouble really quick.
Also, Rowan, the only reason you're not in the asylum right now is because you rolled that nat 20. On hearing.
Oh man.
So somebody saw you the first time you tried to hide and they were making their way over to you. But then you heard them miraculously. Because they were getting ready to grab you and take you into the asylum.
Oh my gosh.
Well,
so it was just like
Shall
a
we?
total garbage fire.
Oh man.
Shall we
yeah.
close it off then?
Yeah, so we'll do opposite order this time. So, Lisa, if you want to tell us a little bit about you and what was your favorite part of the episode today?
Just so glad Pink can lie. And she was raised right by someone, at least.
Outside.
And just, this is a mess, and I love every second of it.
Of course it's gonna be a mess.
It's such a mess.
It's great. I mean, we've got these characters doing all this, so of course it's gonna be a train wreck.
I
Yep.
mean, Lydia's going to wreck really quickly. I expect.
Oh dear. Speaking of Alinea, Gwen, tell us a little bit about you and what was your favorite part of the episode today?
So you can find me here. I will be. Yeah.
Perfect.
So my favorite part would be. Oh, when Vinny almost got caught in the asylum. I was
That was pretty great.
just yeah. Or no. Even further than that, when Vinny went off on his own.
Yeah, it's like,
That-
of course
that's
he did.
Started
Yeah.
everything.
Anywhere.
Yeah, I
He
kind of
didn't
saw
take
that coming.
Joan. He didn't
Of
take
course
Joan.
he didn't. Joan
Why
was
would
all
he
like,
take
"You're getting
Joan?"
yourself killed, blah, blah, blah. Oh, you shouldn't have ever faced him. It's like, I lived my whole life to face him.
Oh my goodness. All right.
I
And
mean,
then,
Joan was just stating the facts as Joan believes them.
That's fair. And then, speaking of our troublemaker, Rowan, what was your favorite part of the episode? And then feel free to post some links and tell us where we can find you.
Okay. A couple of favorites. One, the dinner conversation.
That was
Vinny
so
literally
great.
got like dying inside. Like literally, if I like basically in Tristan when they said "Oh, we're gonna get dessert," he's just like, "There's dessert! Get me out of here!"
No. Oh, that's fantastic.
But also the whole thing with Minerva.
I was really looking forward to that part because I was like, this is gonna be so funny. And it's such a Minerva thing to do.
Of
Yes.
course, shoot him in the gut. He's gonna try again later. You know he is.
Yes.
But he's going
Oh.
to find his
First,
friends
you don't
first.
succeed, try again. Except we're talking about abduction.
No, I'm not abducting her. I just want to
Uh-huh.
talk to her
Of course
calmly.
not.
So,
Not abduction.
which brings us back to me. So I'm Ravens, my channel. It's primarily a tabletop RPG. And excuse me. I do a little bit of video game stuff as well, and some creative educational stuff like photography.
Hashtag totally not abduction. Yeah.
Yeah, photography lessons, things like that. So coming up on the schedule for me, R&R Streaming, that's the channel that I have with Rowan here. We'll be hopefully streaming tomorrow some kind of game. It's very Game Grump style. Rowan usually plays a game and then I make fun of what she's doing or do funny voices or whatever. We just have a lot of fun with it. And then Monday will be our first episode of The Peasant Strike Back, which will be basically your standard D&D game, your stereotypical D&D party, except the players are the peasants in the town, not the adventurers going around murdering everybody. So that'll be fun. Tuesday we'll have something's happening Tuesday. I'm drawing a blank on what it is. And then Wednesday will be Star Chaser, where Gwen is the DM. No, that's Thursday.
Thursday, yes.
Yeah.
I was about to say,
Anyways.
it better not be Wednesday.
Anyways, all the stuff is in the panel down below, and you can check my Twitter for there we go, for everything else. I post everything that I'm doing there. Anyways, we're gonna go on a raid. Looks like Scrat is playing some Oblivion, which is absolutely hilarious when he does this game. Also, fantastic channel. Highly recommend you go follow, especially if you enjoy tabletop RPG. And then we'll be back for more Badlands next Saturday. So yeah, bye. And raid Straticus. And don't forget our raid call.
That was awesome.
And raid in 3, 2, 1. Raid.
Yay. Oh my gosh.